Hello everybody, welcome back to Mature Racing Club's Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship and the Elite 2 lobby. We're at Autopolis now for the reverse grid race. This followed on directly from the last race at Dragon Trail Gardens. As you know from the reverse grid, you've seen the grid already because we've played that through. But the people in theory at the back of the grid in this race will be trying to fight through the pack, so we'll probably try and focus on that a little bit and see what sort of happens. Autopolis is a tricky track, no room for error, very easy to make mistakes. It punishes you hard if you make those mistakes as well, because the runoff is basically gravel traps that just stop you dead and turn you around and all sorts. Anyway, we'll get on with the action and see what happens in this one. So it's half-hour race again, so most drivers, if not all drivers, will need a pit stop in this one. So we're green, so a couple of cars getting slow getaways. The Audi TT specifically will be doing just that. Pete gets a good start. Scooby goes for that on the inside. Scooby gets hit though and gets sent. There is an incident here in turn 1, so I can't remember what actually happens if we just go on board with Scooby. You'll notice he gets hit there. I'm not going to spend half an hour going through who hit him, but turn 1 and Scooby's right down the back. Big Baz is off as well in the McGann, so Scooby and Big Baz have got a lot of work to do in the coming laps. Shell Shot's going slowly, so I think Shell Shot feels responsible for that in one way or another. Shell Shot's driven himself off the circuit, getting very clustered up here. Fabuki's doing a good job at fighting through the pack. He's fighting Dixon at the minute. The McGann really well suited. Dixon just gives him a little tap though, and Fabuki's having to go all agricultural on us. Re-enters the track nicely though. He does a good job of re-entering there. It was very easy to do it in someone's way, but he was very cautious, I could tell, with how he was doing, so that is going to give the Don Dotter a good run on the Audi Ferry though. And Shadowhunter in 7th at the minute, he's in a Hungarian sandwich. Dixon's chasing down Thundercat. Real 72-man in 4th, chasing down P. P has lost out to Commander Effect and Dejku, so Dejku is leading this one in the Subaru. With Commander Effect, the new driver to this championship. This is only his second race with us, and I'm going to guess, Commander Effect, that you're a control pad user. By the way, your lights flash when you turn a corner, so if you are doing this on the control pad, mate, all credit to you, because you're up against a lot of wheel users in this one tonight. P though got a really good run into the final hairpin. That Alfa Romeo, learn your cars, Chris. The Alfa Romeo got a really brilliant run out of that final corner then. Mid-apex speed is brilliant. Rear wheel 72 mils, gonna probably struggle a bit in the DTR. Tyre wear on that will be a lot worse than the cars around him, especially. Thundercat and the McGann's got a good chance at a good result out of this one. Dixon needs to not fight people too early on in this one, because that Mustang's a damn good car if you can keep the tyres in a good window. Shadowhunter's getting chased down by Audi Ferry now. There was a little bit of a tap on corner entry there. Audi Ferry though seems to back off and doesn't take advantage of it. So everyone just continues racing. Fabuki, after his off-road experience, in 10th behind the Don Dotter. The Don Dotter is his championship rival, I'd say, given that Jay Wills is absent this weekend. So he really needs a result against the rampaging P1 driver that is the Don Dotter. We have had a change of lead. Commander Effect into the lead. Dejku's down to 3rd, so we'll go and check in on that. So very clustered up here. P's trying to get himself through. He's up in 2nd now. We do know that the Subarus are a very good car, but the Alfa Romeo is just going to be able. That was a bit of a send, I'm not going to lie. Commander Effect though held his nerve, kept that one nicely. What I was going to say, the Alfa's much superior in the handling sections. You can see it's much more agile. It's like trying to wrestle a greased up weasel, trying to keep that thing behind you. It's incredibly difficult. But at the minute, Commander Effect's doing a damn good job and just sticking to his lines, really. That's what you need to be doing. because he is in the lead. He has got the right to be there, so if P's going to make a move on him, he's got to do it fairly on time. No major changes a little bit further down. Audi Ferry though is coming under pressure from the Don Dotter. The Audi of Audi Ferry is going to be able to storm away into the lead and even challenge Shadowhunter coming down into this braking zone. Not quite close enough to make a move though, but the Don Dotter, the Megane, is in maybe a lap or two's time. That Megane's going to come good. I promise you of that. And we want keeping around the fight for the lead. He's just probably sticking his nose in. I think Commando Effect was probably a little bit too nice to him. I'll be brutally honest with you, mate. Literally gave him the apex. And unfortunately, Alfa Romeo around this sector especially is just going to be able to drive away. It's just going to have much more mid-corner traction. And he is now just able to drive away and focus on his race. Commando Effect, though, a good effort from him. So far, second place in only second race in, as P gets it all wrong. Oh, and collects Commando Effect on the way, and let's have a look at what happened there. Let's just go on board with P. I think he collects the grass on the right hand side. If you see, he'll dip a wheel on it, or more than a wheel. Yeah, out of control car then. Commando Effect was a bit of a passenger in that one. Lost a ton of momentum, and now Rear Wheel 72 man was looking at Rear Wheel 72 man was way too far back, didn't go for it. It's going to give Dejku second place back though. Thundercat, now that Megane is coming good. The cars around it are starting to suffer with a little bit of tyre deg. The GTR will be hurting a little bit now, especially only 5 minutes in, but probably around the 7-8 minute mark that GTR's tyres just went out the window. Shadowhunter's still battling hard in 7th. Audi Ferry's currently got a Fubuki up his inside, and Fubuki makes use of the Megane's awesomeness in a corner. And there's more contact there. That was involving Fubuki. Just tapped the back end of Dixon. Dixon might not know who was there, I'm not too sure. But Fubuki has really come off badly in this opening stage of this race. Plumb last now is Fubuki. After initially setting the fastest lap of the race. So he will be gutted at that turn of events. Not too much happening elsewhere in the field so far. It's pretty much line astern. We'll just keep an eye on the Don Dotter really, as Shadowhunter and Dixon get a little bit argy-bargy. Just see there's a little bit of door banging between these two. That's okay so far, they're giving each other plenty of room. Shadowhunter just makes that move stick on the apex. The Megane's a lot better at that than the Mustang will be. The Mustang is a very underrated car, I will give it that. It's brutal, but it is going to suffer a little bit more in the lateral grip sections as opposed to the Megane, which is a lot more nimble on its feet. Dixon tries to go up the inside, this time to the outside though for the hairpin. The hairpin was the favourite passing place, as Big Baz is about to try and find out. Really gets his nose in. Great overtake by Big Baz if he can make this stick. Dixon's going to have the slipstream from Shadowhunter coming down the hill though, so that's probably going to help him defend to Baz. Baz does just have to tuck back in for now, but Baz, after going off in lap 1, is back up there now, and he's now overtaking the fastest lap of the race all the way from Fubuki. Big Baz really looking for a way past the Mustang. This is the sector where the Mustang will really start to hurt, I'm afraid. And once it can open its taps a little bit, it's probably alright. Good old fight for third going on. Thundercat, who's got past Rear Wheel 72 man. I sort of doff my cap, I predicted that happening because of the way my race went, to be fair. Mine was very similar to this. I was in the Megane as well, and you tend to find if about 8 minutes of a car's tyres start going off and you're fine in that Megane, you can just start making overtakes. Of course, while I'm here, a little cheeky plug to Adey G, who does cover my league, so please go and check him out. I'll throw a link to his channel in the comments below. I'll put a link in there for some other YouTubers you might want to look at. Darksmoka, another notable mention. Thundercat's not managed to get that move made on Dejku just yet. And Adey G's doing a great job in third, even challenging Commander now for second. I think a defensive move from Thundercat turned into an attacking move on second place there, but he made it work. Meanwhile, a little bit further down, Dixon's coming under a P1 assault, consisting of rear-wheel 72 man is going off-road. The Don Dotter and Big Baz. Rear-wheel 72 man's ended up properly off-roading though. GTR's displaying its four-wheel drive capabilities, and I think Big Baz feels somewhat responsible for that and has come off these two, probably just having a chat. Who knows? It's good news for Fubuki though, up to 10th for him now. Give Dixon a little bit of breathing space so he can focus on chasing down Shadowhunter up ahead. Shadowhunter's managed to reel in Thundercat. Thundercat who struggled to get past Adey G. Adey G who's put up a great fight in these last couple of laps, but starting to lose that all grip in that Subaru now. Commander Effect, I think he's managed his pace really well in this opening stint. He's just starting to pull a gap to these guys now as we enter the 10th minute of the race, and it signifies a third of the way through in total. Dixon then into the Mustang's strong point, the straight, getting a triple slipstream. I wonder if he's going to be in a position to make a move at the end of the straight. Thundercat looks like he's going to, Dixon looks like he's going to go as well. We'll keep an eye on both these moves. Dixon's doesn't pay off, neither does Thundercat's. Both the defending cars did a good job of just getting to the apex in time. Shellshot manages to get past the Don Dotter in the NSX. The NSX is a good car. It's a little bit skimpery because there's a lot of weight at the back of that thing and it doesn't want to swap ends. But if he can manage it, then it's a damn good car. The Don Dotter though manages to slide himself back up to 8th place. So importantly, the championship fight between Fubuki and the Don Dotter is still in the Don Dotter's favour. Meanwhile, battle for technically third is hotting up really well. So at the minute we've got Thundercat just leading that. He's building a little bit of a gap up to Shadowhunter. Shadowhunter was getting chased down by the Audi Ferry though. He's managing his tyres quite well because he still managed to keep a lot of pace in that car. Dixon's doing well on the Mustang as well, but you can see he's just running a little bit deep on some corners. And then there is a good old train, the Don Dotter, Adey G. Unfortunately he's had a little bit of a fall from grace in the last couple of laps. He's down to 8th now. Currently defending from Shellshot. Fubuki's eager to get back up there as well. You can see how eager Fubuki is. He's just driving around the outside of people. Some good racing from these guys though, not an ounce of contact at the back. Good to see. So from 3rd to 10th, all covered by like just a couple of seconds, and we are 12 minutes into this one. As we see Shellshot pull out and move there, didn't go for it in the end. Part of me wants to say there's not much happening, but that's because there's not much in the way of full-bore battles right now. As we just see Fubuki try for a move on Shellshot, doesn't manage to get that done. Big Baz and rear-wheel 72 man, after having some contact a lap or so ago, are down at the back. Pete is managing to run away with this one now. I want to say as well, he's done 157. I want to say Pete's pitted already, so potentially a 2-stop for Pete. Who knows actually? Can't imagine why you need a 2-stop in an Alfa Romeo 4C, but there we go. Commander Effect. Big gap to Thundercat now. Well, I say big gap, it's not that big actually, it's a second or two. But doing a grand job in second place. As we just saw Dixon there, nothing happened. I just thought I saw him overtaking. It was a nothing move. One thing that Autopolis is famous for, apart from being a terrible circuit for one-off areas, is its unique pit entry. There's a chicane on the pit entry, which means you've got to be very damn careful going into the pit. There's a couple of people in my lobby got it a little bit wrong, so I'm intrigued to see if that happens here. It can cost you a lot of time if you get it wrong as well. You've got to be really careful. This midfield spread has increased a little bit. I think tyre wear is starting to kick in for some of the guys now. No one opts to pit yet. Probably end of lap 8 we'll see some pit stoppers. End of lap 8 now. Let's see if we see any guys peel off into the pits. She's spent most of this time drifting. Every time I seem to cut to him, his car's sideways. So I can't quite work out. Look. Don't know what on earth he's doing. But we'll cut to see if anything's going on in his pit entry. Does he pit? Does he stay out? Looks like he's going to stay out. Oh no. Yeah, he's staying out. So P stays out. Thundercat and Coanda very close. Side by side going to pits. Coanda absolutely nails it, but gets away with it just about. Oh, Dixon and Fabuki have had a little bit of a coming together, so it's Adey G. Oh, right, he's chaos. Right, let's just go on board with Adey G there, watch that. So we're on board with Adey G. Yeah, it's just chaos. It's absolute chaos, oh my god. A couple of cars stayed on. One of them, Big Baz. So Big Baz up to 4th now. Dondotter's up to 3rd. Shadowhunter running 2nd. P is way out in front at the minute, but his lap times are really starting to drop off now into the 53.5s. So really suffering with his lap times. The cars behind him aren't going any faster though. Mid 53s, 54s from the Megans at the minute mostly. And the Megan was really good at nailing some consistent lap times in, but wasn't overall the quickest. Shadowhunter goes off-road. Is the Dondotter going to try and go for a move? Dondotter's going to have the inside line. Nothing Shadowhunter can really do about that. Just tucks back in behind. Big Baz up to 4th. Thundercat has pitted, so he's the first of the pitters out now. So he's come out ahead of Coanda Effect, so that's quite important for the race as it stands. Audi Ferry's had a good pit stop as well. He's out in what will be sort of a net 4th position now for Audi Ferry. And Fabuki has pitted, as we remember seeing him getting pummeled into the pit entry. It's a bit of a race to forget as Fabuki won't walk away from this one feeling very good about it, but these things do happen. You do have bad races even in real life. So we see the race leader into the pits. Is he going to come out still in the lead, is the question. He's not, I think. The Dondotter comes out, so the Dondotter is now 1st, Shadowhunter is now 2nd. Padgett comes out behind Big Baz. So, of course the guys ahead haven't pitted yet. But Big Baz can cause all sorts of problems for P's hopes of winning this one, because Thundercat behind is also on pretty much fresh tyres. Will be lapping quite well if Baz becomes a bit of a fly in the ointment for P, so to speak. I'd imagine we'll probably pit at the end of the lap anyway, unless he's already pitted. There's a 2-minute lap in there, unless that's a lap where he let Reroll 72 man go. Can't remember actually. That sounds like it might have been that. So I want to say Big Baz hasn't actually pitted yet. Neither Shadowhunter or the Dondotter. So these two guys still going out. Big Baz chooses not to fight it too much, but gets on the brakes just as good as P, so is able to keep the position. Of course they're racing for position, so Big Baz doesn't have to let him go. There's certainly nothing in the race rules or even a sporting code to say that he has to let him go. And of course you'd imagine P with a much more agile car on fresher tyres will be able to make a pass relatively easily. In fact I was expecting him to drift sideways around the outside of Baz then, but alas it didn't happen. Probably best for him at this point just to stay calm. Baz might well pit at the end of the lap anyway. Yeah, it looks like Baz, to be fair, just let him go there at the end. Baz potentially trying to turn this into a no stop then. 10 minutes remain. I think Shadowhunter's trying the same thing in fairness, so a few of them again trying the no stop. Just got to be brave when we get into the last few laps. Audi Ferry was looking for a move there on Coanda Effect, but Coanda saw it coming and just defended that. All the same, he's trying to attack Thundercat up ahead. So all these cars on fresh rubber now. If the Megane and the Subaru can keep the Audi behind for a lap or two, its tyres won't stand the test of time. If it gets in front, it's a very hard car to get past, but if you keep it behind on worn tyres, it's going to struggle to get past you unless it's just got the straight line speed. So that's up to 7th covered for Buki, running an 8th at the minute. He's on fresh boots now and hoping to make an impact into his results for the race. There is a fair old gap to the cars ahead, to be fair. Shell Shock 9th. He had a little bit of an off that we didn't cover a few laps ago. It wasn't epic, it just cost him a few seconds. Adey G running in 10th at the minute. He will probably be wanting to forget this one quickly. Well, I'll say that actually, I'm going to correct myself. Adey G's actually had a good race. He was running at the front genuinely for quite a while. Rear wheel 72 man in 11th. On the road at the minute. Let's jump up to the front. The Dondota continues on. Let's see if he makes it to the end without pitting. P has broken free of the shackles of Shadowhunter now. He's got past Shadowhunter. And of course the two Meganes behind and the one in front will all now be on very worn tyres. So I'd imagine P will now start lapping in the 51s again. 50.8 for P. Whereas the Dondota is 2 seconds a lap slower, and he's got 9 minutes of this this race remaining. So that all but looks like a foregone conclusion that P's going to reel the Dondota in at a rate of knots. Meanwhile, Commander, we just saw again, defends really well to Audi Ferry, using the slipstream and Thundercat to the fullest advantage. It's this little 3-car train now for third. Oh, Commander's just given Thundercat a little bit of a nudge. And you just see him slow down there to let Thundercat take the place. That looked definitely accidental. I just think when you're following a car that closely behind, you miss your braking point. He's even going into auto drive to apologise. Thundercat probably be a little bit gutted about that. That has given Audi Ferry a little bit of a free run now. Still a 4th place, so yeah, Commanders. There was no intent. You can tell when a move was instant for that one. For Buki then up to 6th for Buki after a few guys have pitted ahead of him, and is now looking to make moves for 5th. Dives down the inside. Commander just didn't see him. All's well that ends well though. Shadowhunter has pitted now, so is Big Baz. And this is it as it stands, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty spread out now. After the battle for 3rd got taken away from us. The Dondota's then done equivalent of 36 laps on those tyres, given that with times 3 tyre wear. And you can see on his lap times he's starting to feel the pinch a little bit. You can see that he peels off into the pits. P is then going to resume the lead of the race. It's interesting to see where the Dondota comes out. He's probably going to come out behind Audi Ferry. Depends how good his pit crew are. You can see him coming out of the pit exit now. The Audi's going to have some serious overspeed though, and will have that move made. But Dondota's going to have fresh tyres now, and with the remaining 7 minutes of the race, he can attack, and he's well in the slipstream. Meanwhile, Thundercat's beginning to come under a little bit of pressure from Fubuki. In the battle for 4th, there's up to 5 cars in this one at the minute, so Fubuki's there, Commander Effect's there as well. Shadowhunter's looking to get himself involved, and so is Big Baz. Shellshock's kind of on his own at the minute, be a little bit bored. Adey G also a little bit on his own, and so is Rear Wheel 72 man. So, I guess evolving stories of the race so far. Dondota, see if he can get past Audi Ferry. He's going to have a more nimble car, so whether he goes for it here now, he's a bit too far back, but you can see how much better that Megane is on the brakes. Gets the traction down a lot better as well than the Audi, but the Audi is just OP in a straight line. It is ridiculously fast. It does have a few negatives about it though. Tyre wear, slow speed corners are particularly tricky in the Audi. The high speed stuff's alright, but the slow speed stuff's terrible. So the Dondota's got some key times to get past him. Well, see, Thundercat can hold off Fubuki. Fubuki's got the bit between his teeth after he's been off the track more times than I can count, I think. He's had an action-packed race as far as incidents and off-circuit excursions have proved, but he's also driving really well as well, so he's still in the mix of a good haul of points here if he can get past Thundercat. Thundercat typically drives really well as well, so it's not like he's trying to get past some back marker. He's trying to get past someone who is consistently at the top of the field as well. Thundercat does just shut that door. Fubuki wasn't close enough anyway, in fairness. The battle for 6 beginning to heat up a little bit. Shadowhunter's getting chased down by Commander Effect in the Subaru. Big Baz looks to be being a little bit patient, so he's just biding his time at the minute. Is Baz waiting for one of the guys ahead to start fighting? He's not getting any pressure from behind, so he can afford to do that at this minute in time. Fubuki, does he get anything done? Just keep an eye on the track map ahead to see if anything's happening with these two. Yes, it is. Just missed that. Let's go back. Looks like a good move from the Dondar. So he sets this up a corner earlier. Gets on the brakes just a tad earlier. The Audi drifts wide. The Dondar cuts back. Gets that move done. He's going to have to finish the move off at the hairpin though, just to solidify it. Audi Ferry gives him the room. Tries to get on the power behind him. Good move, good racing from both these guys. So Dondar up to second now. Fubuki is past Thundercat. Got a similar move made by looks of things. Thundercat in a similar car with similar tyre is gonna fight it though, you can bet your bottom dollar on it. He decides not to run too wide here. It can be done, but it's risky. Just tucks in. Big Baz has had an off, and that's like shell shot past, and that was commentator's curse. I literally just said he's got nothing to worry about, and off the track he goes. Down to 9th for Big Baz, shell shots up to 8th. Commander Effect 7th, still chasing down Shadowhunter, who's dropped back a little bit out of the slipstream now. We'll see if Thundercat tries to make a move on Fubuki. It's not close enough for the time being. Just ride on board with Thundercat actually for a little bit and just see how it looks from a driver's eye perspective. So I'll be getting a little bit dirty. Yeah, the tyres will be starting to go now if they've not gone already. Nice light cockpitting on again, so plenty of visibility in here. Tucks it really nice and close to the apex and runs the power out. Fubuki gets a good drive out there as well. Yeah, so both of these drivers showing us what it's all about. So we've got Big Baz and Shellshock side by sides. Rewa 729 Adey G were close together as well, but we'll just see if Big Baz can get back past Shellshock. Shellshock does go defensive. Baz has to go to the outside. Does he go for the cutback? He does. Does he get that made? Fortunately not right away. Just couldn't get on the power early enough. Shellshock was able with the outside line just to get that traction down a fraction earlier. Doing a good job so far, Shellshock. Big Baz is a very fast dude, so he's going to have his work cut out. Probably coming on to the last lap now, so we might as well just stick with the race. In terms of elsewhere, I'm afraid to report there's not a lot going on. So first, second, third, 4th, 5th and 6th are relatively close together. Kind of all about this Shellshock and Baz fight right at the end. Shellshock just managed to keep it so far, going uber defensive into T1 as we enter the last lap now, but he's a little late on the brakes and unfortunately his backs just lock up and that lets Baz through on the last lap. It's the risks of tyre wear, I'm afraid. we've seen some good racing in this one. There's been something going on pretty much every lap in terms of overtakes, moves, people setting one another up. There's been a couple of incidents as well. That does happen from time to time. Right, the death though, the Don Dotter takes the fastest lap of the race award of a 150.884, beating P's time by 1/1000th of a second. So he set a 150.885 and the Don Dotter got in there with a 150.884. So well done to the Don Dotter for that. He's snuck in there by the smallest of margins, but he's made it work. He's had a good race, so that'll do him good in the championship lead. We'll come to that in just a minute and we'll see just how much that affects it. Fubuki, a 4th, not a bad result for Fubuki, as we just see P come across the line to win the race. We're going to come and watch the Don Dotter come across in 2nd. Good race for the Don Dotter, we'll be happy with that result, right from the back of the grid. Audi Ferry, good race for him as well. He's battled hard this one and a well-earned 3rd. Fubuki, a really hard fought 4th position. Thundercat just keeps Shadowhunter at bay right at the end. Commando Effect, a good race for Commando Effect, 7th for him. Big Baz, 8th for Big Baz, 9th for Shell Shock. Real 72 man has had a bit of a lonely one since the early days of the race, to be honest. The GTR has not been kind to him. He's going to come home in 10th, and Dejku is going to bring it home in 11th place. So then that's it for round 5. Just 2 rounds remain, 4 races in total to go. Championship standings on your screen, as you can see. So the Don Dotter extends his lead. So he's on 162 now, is it? 147 for 2nd place for Fubuki. So Fubuki's got a lot of work to do in the closing stages if he wants to take the title. Top 4 spots, of course, as you can see by the colours at the side, do claim promotion. At the minute, occupying those spots is the Don Dotter, Fubuki, J-Wheels and Big Baz. But there's a lot of challenging from behind from sort of Thundercat, Shell Shock to get those spots as well. The midfield fight, as always, is quite an intriguing one. And don't forget, we've got drivers like P and Commando Effect at the minute at the bottom of the table because they've only just started racing. But they are going to be taking shares of the points as well because we can see that they can race. So that's it then. Next up is Goodwood and St Croix C. So they're going to be raced this coming Friday the 22nd. Videos for those hopefully out over that weekend. We'll see. Depends what the weather's like and what I'm up to. And then that's pretty much the GTTCC Season 12 coming to a close. So the last round is at the end of May. And then we'll have the closing videos and we'll be able to announce champions and who gets promoted and yada yada. So that's it from me. Thank you for checking out the video. Don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next time, I'll see you later and take care. Bye bye.